In this video, I'm going to be using Infrahub to deploy a new router at a remote site in one of our demo datasets. To do that, we're going to be using 4 different features. We're going to be looking at branching, which gives us the ability to propose changes without actually impacting our production database. We're going to look at Resource Manager, which allows us to develop pools of IP addresses, subnets, and other number pools like ASNs that give us ranges that we can pull out of for use in automation. We're also going to be looking at transforms and artifacts and look at how those two features come together to bring a start configuration together for this new router. And then we're also going to take a quick look at proposed changes to see how we can work with change management. We'll get started by taking a quick look inside device management where we have all of our devices. And we can see in Atlanta we have the 2 edge routers. What we want to do is create a 3rd edge router for this site. So rather than start by going to add device, we're going to actually start by creating a new branch to hold this new router. Clicking up top shows our available branches, and we'll click on the plus to add a new one. We'll name it New Atlanta Router. And now we can see our branch has automatically switched over, and we still have main and our other demo branches available. So now that we are in the new branch, we'll click on Add a Device, put it in the site we'd like, when we look here at the primary IP address, if we click this drop down, we're going to see all of the IPs that Infrahub is aware of. But what we really want to do is click on this box here to open our different resource options, our pool options. And we're going to be selecting out of the management address pool. With that done, we'll go ahead and click Save. We can see the device has been created, and our device count has increased to 31. And if I switch this branch back over to main, we can see that there's the original 30 devices. But when we switch back to our new router branch, we can see that there's 31. Do need to make one more change to this router. We want to put it in a specific group. Adding the router to that group is going to trigger the automatic, the data transformation process that we're going to see once we get into the proposed change that's going to generate what we would call an artifact, which in this case is the correctly rendered configuration that we'll need to deploy this new router. So in Infrahub, artifacts they're not disposable pieces of data that are used once to deploy a device or to change a device and then get thrown away. Those artifacts actually become part of the internal object storage. So they get versioned as we make changes to them over time. That allows us to compare them historically, and we'll cache those to improve the performance of the automation against those devices wherever needed. Like I mentioned, when we get into the change process, you'll see a little bit more of that, how that comes together. And you can learn more about the transformations and artifacts through our documentation. We'll also be linking to other videos that we have on these topics so you can learn more about these features in depth. When we look at the router that we created, we can also see that there's an IP address that's been assigned. So where did that come from? Let's take a look. We'll go into Object Management. We'll go to our Resource Manager. And that's where we're going to find different pools that have been set up. And as part of this demo, we used the management address pool. We'll click into that. And we can see that we have this /16 available, which is where that pulled from. If we go back and look at resource managers, I'm going to click on Add Resource Pool here real quick, just so you can take a look at the other types of pools we can create. Ranges of IP addresses, or prefixes, subnets, or number pools, which can be really useful for things like ASNs. With the router created within our branch, I'm going to propose a change now so we can actually bring this router into the production database. Click on Propose Changes, start a new proposed change, and we'll be picking our new ATL router branch, and we'll be merging that into main. And then we'll click on Create Proposed Change. What we've done here is kicked off our internal CI pipeline that has been defined as part of this demo data for setting up a new router at a site. I'm going to start clicking on Data, and we're going to see everything that's been added or updated as part of this change. Refresh the page real quick and let the rest of this load up. And then click on Checks. We're going to see a series of checks that have kicked off as well. Once all of our checks and our tasks have completed, if we go over into Artifacts, we'll actually see that that artifact was created as part of this change as well. But with that done, we can go ahead and merge this into production. And once that merge has been successfully completed, we can go ahead and switch back into main. Actually, we'll go back. We'll go ahead and switch over to main. We'll go back into device management. Again, we see our new router. We see our artifacts, which we can view here. We can also go into deployment and look through all of the artifacts that have been generated as part of the current data set. And then I already know this will be on our last page. There we have our new router and our configuration for that router. And there you have it. We used some of the more foundational features of Infrahub to help bring this configuration together for this new router with ease. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.